Welcome back to the show, folks. Hey, if you don't know me, my name is Mike Asherbranner, professionally known as the Redneck Connector, proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business community. And you are tuning in to Mike King Biz Radio on ESPN RVA 106.1 FM. Well, folks, he's coming back for round two, maybe three. We're talking about today something that most high achievers ignore until it forces their attention. Yep, we're talking about health. And my guest, David Medansky, known as the Health Guy, founder of Life 42 Health Reset and Community, and author of the new book, A Path Forward. David helps midlife entrepreneurs, leaders reclaim their energy, reset their habits, and build sustainable health that actually fuels performance, not just temporary motivation, because we know that don't last. So because, as he says, true wealth always begins with health. And I didn't want to believe that, but it's true. I'm getting older, not younger, folks. So let's buckle up, run the intro, and pick this guy's big brain. You'll love it.
Looks like your business might be in a bit of a pickle. Don't you worry about a thing. You ain't alone in this. You're just a success story waiting to happen. Trust me on that. Every bump in the road is just an opportunity wearing a clever disguise. Welcome to the Hounds of Business community, where we don't just sit around twiddling our thumbs. Nope. We turn those obstacles into mighty fine stepping stones. This here's a place where high-level entrepreneurs and sharp professionals gather to grow their businesses and mindsets, kind of like how a good old gumbo needs the right ingredients to be something special. Ideas thrive here, and collaborations, well, they're as natural as sweet tea on a hot day. Success, it's a journey, and we're fixing to walk that road right beside you. Now, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn for all the latest tips and insights. We're talking about the kind of wisdom that'll keep you ahead of the game. And while you're at it, head on over to our YouTube channel. We've got ourselves a treasure trove of videos, from expert interviews to webinars, everything you need to stay sharp in this fast-moving world of business. The Hounds of Business community? Well, we ain't just a network, we're a movement. So why not come on and be part of something bigger? Join us today and let's turn your business journey into a real Southern success story. Together, we'll achieve greatness. Just like crawfish and singing on a Friday night.
All right, folks. Well, this guy's he's worldwide. He knows all about crawfish and everything else. Let's bring him up. The one and only David Medansky. How are you, big dog?
Doing great, Mike. Thanks for having me as a guest today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, man. Hey, birds of a feather really do flock together, my friend. So, David, we had you on the show before, but in case somebody missed it, this time we're bringing you back, right? You're bringing a book that feels personal to me, right? And so let's start here. Give us the real amazing, real story of how all this happened. You were a divorce attorney, right? You did other things. You didn't set out to say, well, let me be a health guy, right? Like, so give everybody a little synopsis of what caused this. What this fork in the road moment when you're like, you know what, I'm gonna take action and help other people. What happened?
Well, actually, I came full circle, as I told my wife, and she said, "What do you mean?" When I was in my 20s and 30s, I was healthy and fit and wanted to open a health food store and an exercise gym. Life gets in the way with, kids and work responsibility. Next thing I know, I'm going to law school, becoming a divorce attorney. Fast forward, I'm 61, I'm fat, and my doctor tells me, based on my lab results, I have a 95% chance for a fatal heart attack.
Oof.
It gives me two options: lose the weight or find a new doctor. Even handed me a list of doctors to contact because he didn't want me dying on his watch. And he'd been after me for 8 years to lose the weight. And if I did lose weight on a diet, I gained it all back, sometimes even more. This time was different.
That's my kind of doctor. Hey, tough love. So what happened as a result of that, man? Did you just give up?
No, I shed 50 pounds during the next 4 months. More importantly, I kept it off. I went back and read my books from the 70s by Paul and Patricia Bragg, Jack LaLanne, Richard Simmons, William Duffy's Sugar Blues, and realized they were talking about basics. Then I was reading books by current authors, and they're talking about their products, their methods, their services, and made it sound like if you didn't invest with them, you'd fail. I thought something's wrong. So as an attorney, I'm able to do research and started sifting through some of the opinion from the facts and some of the, BS that's out there. I wrote my first book. It was called Discover Your Third Inner Self, and it's gone, since then I've written more books because I kept wanting to improve and I kept wanting to learn more. And then I came up with a book called A Path Forward that's being released today, in fact. and it's fiction. So it's a story about Michael Caldwell, who gets a wake up call himself, and has a journey where he meets historical figures. He meets Gandhi, Anne Frank, Hippocrates, Jack LaLanne, several other people, and they all give him a key, and each key has a lesson, and there's 10 keys, 10 lessons. And so it's a nice story. It's not a how-to book. It's not a diet book. It's not you should do this book. It's just here's some information. There's different stories throughout the book. And hopefully, if you don't remember the stories, you'll remember the lessons.
I mean, folks, thank you, because you summed that big, long, amazing, inspiring story into a real short time. And that's the hound's way, right? No, almost every hound is, hey, I had a life, I had a career, I was supposed to be happy, blah, blah, blah. And then something happened, right? And now your passion is helping other people, right? That's because it's serious. Health, you can get away with a lot of stuff, David, but health, you can be fine. You can be unhealthy for a day, month, and year. But boy, as the years compound and the decades compound, then you're faced with challenges. It could be too late. So starting early is key. Let me ask you this. A lot of high performers, because your book, it really is a fun read. It's a helpful read. It's not preachy. It's not formulative. You're not trying to infomercial throughout it. It's just, hey, it's like sitting down with your uncle going, hey, let me tell you something, like a fireside chat to me. So a lot of high performers hit a wall in midlife, especially. And in your experience, what's really happening there, physically and mentally?
Well, it's both. It's mind, body, and spirit. For a healthy mind and a healthy body, with a healthy spirit. And what's happening is we're sacrificing our health in pursuit of wealth. And then as we get older, we're spending our wealth in pursuit of the health. So there's need to be a balance somewhere. You need to take care of your body. And as Jim Rome said, if you wear that out, where else are you going to live? So,
Jim Rome, bonus points, my friend. Keep going.
It's one of those things where you have to set priorities. And, if you ask people, is health a priority? They'll say, yes, it's a priority. And that's the wrong answer. Health should be the priority, because without health, you have nothing. With that old saying, a man who has good health has 1,000 dreams. A man in poor health has but one. And if you ever, had an injury or got really sick, you understand what I'm saying. And so a lot of the stuff that's going on out there now is preventable. A lot of it's reversible.
Yeah, it's like you read my mind. All right. I was about to ask you, hey, well, you always say health is the real currency, right, behind performance and wealth. So thank you for bringing that up. Let me ask you, because I want to make sure we get to the meat. I don't want to do surface. You've been on here too long. All right. And the hounds know you, they like you, and they trust you. So I want other people who don't know you at that rate to get it. You talk about, it's part of your philosophy, right? The fundamentals and the practicality. But you talk about sustainable habits instead of extreme fixes. That is music to my country ears. Why do extremes fail long term, right? Why does all this motivation? Somebody goes full throttle. They're in this complicated systems, but we see it time and time again. 90% fail rates, right? You got one that has a 90% success rate. What's the difference here?
Well, the difference is you learn to build a healthy habit that you enjoy, that you like, and that works for you, because we're all different. So if you don't like eating Brussels sprouts or broccoli or kale, don't eat it, because you won't continue it. I talked to one lady, she had a coach, and she lost 75 pounds. She gained it all back, and she called me and she needed help. And I said, well, what happened after you lost the 75 pounds? She goes, I got tired of eating the Brussels sprouts and the kale. I said, well, why would you do that? She goes, that's what my coach demanded. I was like, well, of course, you're going to revert back to your old habits. And people look at weight loss as a goal. They don't look at it as a lifestyle or a journey. And that's the difference. When you reach your goal, it's like a sprint. You cross the finish line, and then people revert back to their old habits. They'll go treat themselves to, hot fudge sundae, or, a pizza, or something that's, really decadent. And then that becomes their new habit, instead of sticking to what they've been doing. Where if you look at, your lifestyle, your eating behaviors, your going to sleep, eating smaller portions, eating slower, that is more sustainable, and doing it in a way that you enjoy it.
See, and that I'll take it a step further. My personal experience, and very many others. If you do all of this, like, you start the program, you start eating stuff you hate, you do all this too fast without the right mindset, it gets worse than just failure. You're fighting yourself. Well, like, I will go back with a vengeance. I'll turn into Cookie Monster, David. Like, it will be just like the horrible Hallmark style movie. And so on that note, because I want people out there listening, they're high performers, high achievers, successful, business oriented. So what's the mindset shift that makes lasting change actually stick? Because this is what everything you do, community, books, the 10 golden rules is all about this. So clear this out for them. What's the mindset shift that makes lasting change actually stick?
Yeah, the mindset shift is realizing that it's a lifestyle. It's how you want to live your life and what you're going to enjoy. So there's 9 simple golden rules. There's 10 keys in the book, just for clarification. And then in the Life 42 Health Reset, we use direction. So we're not telling you, we're pointing you. And in there are 7 daily tasks that you do. And people look at the 7 daily tasks. They look at the 9 simple golden rules and they're like, I know that. I understand you know it. The question is, are you doing it? And most people say no. Well, then the question is, why aren't you doing what you know what to do to stay healthy? And then there's excuses, there's reasons. And what I tell people, Harv Eker used to say is, you can have reasons, you can have excuses, you cannot have results. It's one or the other. And the other thing is, when you talk about health, health is not something you can buy or purchase. It's not something you can outsource or download. It's a result, and it's a result of your daily habits. And as you said earlier, it may not happen in a day or 2 or 3, a month, a year, but over time it accumulates. And that's when people start, feeling the negative consequences of their daily choices. So we help you make more positive choices. The other thing is 80% of our thoughts are negative. And
only 98 over here, but keep going.
One of the things is think positive. So imagine if you turned that around, made 80% of your thoughts positive instead of negative, especially when it comes to weight loss. So instead of saying, oh, I'm not allowed to have this, to say, I'm making a choice not to have it. Big difference in how your mind interprets things.
Seriously. And it's not a BS type of framework. It's a realistic, it's going to give you a better chance of success framework. We're not spiritual bypassing, and we're just being honest. And this is one of the things that I want to tackle. We're going to go give a shout out in a minute. But I want folks to know, we're going to dive in, because the things you do, how you go about it. I thought I was just a special kind of stupid. I did. I was like, none of this works for me. You come along and you reason. You help me figure it out, right, on my terms, where I'm at. And that's why I wanted to put you on this show, because I want folks to know you don't have to bash your square peg in a round hole, eat grass all day and be miserable, right? Like, you can, if you have the right tools, guidance, and someone who is meeting you where you're at. And that, honestly, that was you to a T. So, folks, I want to make sure, hey, Mike King, give a big shout out to our partnership with Mike King Biz Radio. Wow. This guy is going worldwide now. And so glad to see it. He pushes up his community like no other. It's almost March Madness. They put him on the Jumbotron at the ball games in Virginia. Well earned, Mike King. You are a champion. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity for birds of a feather to flock together. So, folks, if you're listening live on the radio, if you want to go dive deeper, hey, you can find us on YouTube. You can watch this in person, Hounds of Business on YouTube. You can also find us, me, Mike Asherbrenner, Hounds of Business on LinkedIn, Redneck1. Or you can send an old school carrier pigeon, man, weather pending, right? So if you're just tuning in, we're sitting here with the one and only David Medansky, the first person in the wellness and health space that won me over with logic, reason, and patience. Massive amount of patience on your end, David. That means a lot to me, right? I mean well, but sometimes I could be a very bullheaded school hard knocks type of guy. I can't be the only one out there. So let's dive in, because we know why you started this. You didn't start this just to make money. Nothing wrong with that if you did. But you started this because your doctor said, I'm going to get a new doctor. You're going to die. You're not listening. You're hard-headed. You took your attorney skills and you went out and you researched it like a journalist. And then you realized, hey, principles don't change, do they? Right? There's a law of health, and I'm going to go find it and share it. So let's dive straight in, because you have something remarkable. Everybody should know by now that I am all about community. Safe, trust-first communities. That's where I go. That's what I create. We create. So on this new book, and here it is, Vanna White style, right? There it is, this book. Look how big this is. Again, I can finish this in 30 minutes, and I'm a slow reader. So you didn't just write a book. you built Life 42 Health Reset Community, right? For the how-to, for the real one-on-one type of guidance, right? Communal guidance. Why is community such a critical part of this transformation to you, David, and for your clients and those you serve?
Well, there's several reasons. First, there's accountability in there. We all need accountability. Second, there's support. We all need support. We need positive encouragement. We need to be empowered. We need to be celebrated our small wins, no matter what it is, even if it's just losing a pound or two. Just little things like that. And also, it's a place where you can get updated tips and weekly updates, information. So I'm always doing research. I'm always looking to provide the community and the members in the community with information that relates to them and what they're going through. A lot of times members will ask a question. I'll research it, then I'll put the answer in the community so everybody else can see it, because a lot of times people are afraid to ask a question. And so this is why community is so important, is because you're not doing it alone. You're walking a path or a journey together.
Chantel, there's a lot of great comments for folks who can't see this on air. Chantel said, I don't want it. I changed my perspective by focusing on how it truly felt to eat unhealthy. Yeah, there you go. I'm not going to mess it up with any Mike-isms, right? Deborah also said, I like that, David. You can have excuses, reasons. However, you cannot have results without committed shifts in action anchored in aligned beliefs. Thank you, Deborah, for putting that in words that I couldn't find. That's it. You met me and many other hounds and people outside where we were with not the symptoms. We all know to eat better. Get out of here. We all know, I know not to stuff my face full of cookies, but I did it anyway. The question is why? What's below the surface? And this is what I like. And you don't shame people. You just, hey, me too. You were 800 pounds or whatever it was, right? So there's no judgment here. And it's all about guidance. So you have a community on school, right?
Yeah, it's on the school platform.
Right. And I got it on screen here. Folks on the air, if you're curious about this, there's two pathways you can go to. You can go to life42.com. That'll take you there. Or you can go straight to school.com/life-42-HRC. Go to YouTube, because you ain't going to remember that. But yeah, go to life42.com. All the info is there. And walk us through it, because everybody's got so many communities and emails nowadays. It's overwhelming, right? But I actually check yours, right? Because they're entertaining, they're educational. It almost seems like you planted it at the right daggum time without knowing it. So walk folks through it. Again, you did a little bit, but how much is it? What is it? And what's the value they're getting? Because they get a tremendous amount of value. You're not in this to make $1 gazillion, which is no problem. But you are truly making this affordable and accessible for the right people. And I respect that, because that's what we do in the Hounds.
Well, the standard tier is free, so there's no excuse not to join. There's no obligation, there's no pressure, there's no upsell. And in the standard tier, we provide you with a little mini program. We provide you with all the information you need to succeed. And if you need additional help and additional support, then you can go into the premium tier. And that's where you get some one-on-one coaching with me. And pretty soon we're going to be introducing the VIP inner circle tier. And that'll be a little bit more, it'll give you a little bit more access to me, more, personal coaching, more privatization of your meal plans and everything. Right now, there's no set meals, there's no products, there's no supplements, there's no exercise program you have to follow. The only thing we recommend is doing 30 minutes of physical activity each day. And that includes, walking. If you're not able to walk 30 minutes at one time, break it up into, 3 10-minute sessions or 2 15-minute sessions. Rebel Wilson lost 77 pounds in 1 year walking an hour each day. Now, I realize not everybody has an hour to devote to walking each day for an hour. However, Mindy Kaling, an actress, lost weight. And what she did, when she had a 10 or 15-minute break, instead of going on social media, texting friends, she would go for a 10 or 15-minute walk. Well, if you do that 2, 3, 4 times throughout the day, you're getting 40, 50 minutes, an hour in without realizing it. So there's little things you can do like that. We give little tips on how to accomplish things. And not only that, we not only tell you what to do, we tell you how to do it, and we tell you why it's important to do it. And the why is the most important thing. And that's what's omitted from a lot of the programs. This is not like a national brand that's going to promise you to lose 20, 30 pounds your first month. You can do that. It's not sustainable. It's not healthy. You're not on any medications. You're not on the GLP-1s. You don't have to do injections. You don't have to take pills. It's just doing things slowly, gradually, so that you're enjoying it. It's not extreme. And usually what I ask people is, you'd like to weigh 24 to 48 pounds lighter by this time next year, if you need to lose the weight. And most people say, yeah. Okay, can you lose 2, 3, 4 pounds per month? Not per week, per month. And most people are like, yeah, I can do that. Well, great. If you do that on average for 12 months, some months you'll lose more, some less. Some months you may even gain a little bit of weight. After a year, you're 24 to 48 pounds lighter. Not only that, you're going to have more energy. You're going to feel better. You're going to look better. You're going to have better cognitive abilities. You have better mental clarity. You won't have that brain fog in the afternoon. And you're just going to be willing to enjoy life and be a participator instead of a spectator.
Yeah, our feng shui is so good. We're like the Olympic volleyball team. You know, like you just spoil every question I had, man. I love it. It's because I was going to say, well, what makes it different? And you know what makes it different. No fluff, meeting you where you are, and your people come and go, right? You're ready to go, we're here. If you got to go struggle on something, we'll be here. And I love that. That's my, you know, we don't chase people around like dog catchers. We're bug zappers, right? We're here when you need us. And I love that. There's no pressure. So let me get this down. Someone listening who feels overwhelmed or behind right now. There's a lot of us. We might not say it out loud, but we're not the only ones, folks. What's the first small baby step? Because I love what you said. Baby steps compound the big steps, right? A little bit at a time, right? What's the small baby step they can take today?
The first one is to drink more water, because 75% of the US population is chronically dehydrated. Our bodies are 60 to 70% water, not soda, diet soda, fruit juices, fruit flavored beverages, or milk. And so just that small little step of replacing soda and diet soda with water, and it can be, you know, distilled water, it can be reverse osmosis water, it can be spring water if it's high quality, whatever your preference is. And when people say, it doesn't taste good to me, it's blah. Well, what I tell them is, you can throw a little lemon in there, a little cucumber, you can throw some watermelon, some, you know, different fruits, and it gives the flavor. You get nutritional value out of it, some orange slices. When you go to a vacation in tropical resorts, usually they have big jars of water, and it's all full of, you know, citrus, you know, oranges, pineapple, cucumbers, melons, and people say, oh, this is great. Well, why not do that yourself at home? You know, if you like water like I do, I just drink it plain
all the time,
then you don't need to worry about it. So it's little things like that. I always, you know, maybe squeeze some, you know, lemon in there. Not every glass of water, but, you know, maybe in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon. That's the first thing, because that's what Charles Duhigg calls a keystone habit. And that keystone habit will have a ripple effect, where once you start drinking water and replacing that with getting rid of the sodas and diet soda and the milk and everything else that's out there, now your body's going to start changing. Your taste buds will start changing. You won't be craving the sugars as much, the salt, the fat, the textures. And so people believe they're eating healthy when they're not. They're being fooled by the deceptive marketing out there. So I teach people how to read ingredients, and they're shocked. They'll talk to me and say, yeah, I eat healthy. And I say, what do you eat? I had a protein bar. What's the ingredients? What do you mean? Well, how much sugar is in there? And then I look at what it is, and they're amazed that they think, again, they're eating healthy when it's not. It's processed food. It's manufactured foods. It's ultra processed. So it's little things like that where people are like, hey, what about this? And I'll give a plug. There's an app called Yuka, Y-U-K-A. It's free. And you can take it with your phone and scan the barcode on any product in the grocery store. It'll give you a green, yellow, or red light. And green means it's okay, it's healthy. Yellow means caution, and red means don't eat it at all. And people are shocked when they use it. And again, it's a free app. I don't make any money on it. Right. And so I offer the free tier, the standard tier, to get people in, to show them, look, you can do this if you don't need my help. And here's how to do it. It's free. And then if you want more support, then you can, you know, pay the $47 a month. Quit anytime once you know are there. Most people stay because, again, they like the weekly updates and tips. They like the information I'm giving. And it's part of a community. They feel connected.
All right, folks, do you see the passion? This guy could coach and share and inspire without fluff and nonsense all day. That's why he's my guy. All right. So, and by the way, he gave me a small pass. I drink a lot of water, but it's usually from the hose. No kidding. It's just convenient. I don't go to my real office. I love my office shit. It's not a costume, folks. I'm really this way. So let me real quick, because we only got a few minutes, but this is what, we're not judging, but we're just going to declare it. We want to leave legacy and impact, ones that outlast us when we're no longer here, right? That's just a common theme, unspoken throughout the Hounds and everywhere else that we work with. So on that note, when someone finishes this book, A Path Forward, what do you hope changes in how they see themselves and their quality of life?
Well, I hope they'll do some reflection and change the direction of where they're going with how they're eating, sleeping, their lifestyle, and truly look at what's important. Because if something happens to you as a business owner, what happens to your employees? If something happens to you as a parent, what happens to your children? If you're not worried about yourself, do it for other people. And sometimes you need to know what your why is as to why you want to be healthy. I talked to one person and he had no reason, no why he wanted to be healthy. And so I wasn't able to help him. It's not for everybody. It's only if you want to do it. You don't need the motivation. You just need a direction. And again, health is not a product. It's a result. I'm going to be 71 in a couple months and people look at me and think, what? And I'm able to be active, participate. I'm able to walk upstairs. I'm able to go hiking. If you're a grandparent, you can get down on the floor with your grandkids and play with them, be active instead of just sitting and watching. So I'm enjoying life, and it's a high quality. When I hear people in their 50s and 60s say they're old, I look at them and think, no, you're not old. You're just older. It's an attitude. So I help people adjust their attitude from feeling old to just being older and feeling young again. I'm not hearing you, Mike. I lost you.
I said I need to get some WD-40 for this chair, y'all. Sorry about it. I'll fix it. David, maybe you got some. But so in the last minute, I want to close it out. I found the book on Amazon. Tell folks where to go if they want to read the book, if they want to plug into the free portion of the community, if they want to check it out. Hey, check it out. You're not going to find persuasion. You're going to find guidance here. And that's why I can't shout it out enough. There's too much nonsense. Not saying everybody else is. I'm just saying this worked for me. And David's helping me get my beach body ready for March. And I also have Deborah Jackson helping me as well. So we'll be getting to her here real soon because she's also helping me a lot. So anyway, David, take it away. Last minute, tell folks where they can go, where your website, and how they can get their hands on this book.
Okay, so today is the official launch of Path Forward. It's on Amazon. It's 99 cents right now on Kindle. And then the paperback, there was a technical glitch. It'll be ready on February 19th in 2 days.
There you go.
You can go there, and then there's a hardcover book. I'm not saying you need to buy the hardcover. I'm just saying wait the 2 days and get the paperback.
There you go. Hey, save money, get healthy. That sounds good to me, folks. So, hey, appreciate you, David. This has been a blast, my friend. I love your guidance, what you've done. And when I see something that's valuable, I kind of shout it from the rooftops. That's it. So thank you for your time. Love having you in the Hounds. Man, it's been a blessing.
Well, thank you. Just one little last thing. I'd like to give a shout out to Les Brown.
Yeah.
Today's his birthday, February 17th. So happy birthday, Les.
Happy birthday, Les Brown. Woo.
And so I just want to recognize Les. He's been very helpful, and he gave me a great review on the book and a little bit of a blurb for it. So I just want to thank him and appreciate that.
And we'll show it on the HOB Live because nobody can see it on the radio, but we do. We have a video of that, and that was a fun video. Great guy. And, man, thank you for what you do. Tune in next week, folks. We're just going to keep stacking it, right? So appreciate – Women's Month. Be on the lookout on HOB, YouTube, LinkedIn. March is Women's Month, and we are coming with a bang, folks. So stay tuned to that and appreciate everyone. See you next week, same time, folks. Have a good one. Thank you, David.